All right, let's talk about Karns. If you've been looking at homes anywhere in Knoxville, you've probably heard the name. For a long, long time, it was known as that quiet little corner of West Knoxville. But, as we look at the market today, that reputation is seriously being put to the test. So let's dig in and see what's really going on.
So that leads us to the big question, right? Is that reputation for being a quiet pocket even accurate anymore? See, Karns is no longer just a spot for longtime locals. It's really entering a brand new phase. And that's creating a huge lifestyle question for anyone thinking about making a move in the area.
And this quote just nails it. We're not just talking about a few new houses popping up here and there. No, this is about a fundamental shift in the community's entire identity, and it's all happening right now in real time.
Okay, so to really understand where Karns is heading, we first have to look back. We need to get a grip on how it earned that reputation as the quiet pocket in the first place.
You see, for years, its whole appeal was about balance. You were close enough to major job centers like Oak Ridge and Pellissippi Parkway, which was super convenient. But then, when you came home, it felt completely separate, calm and very residential. It was really the best of both worlds.
And you can see on this timeline, Karns didn't just pop up overnight. It grew slowly, in phases, with bigger lots and a focus on homes first and then businesses second. It was that slow burn that really created its identity. But now, well, we're at what you could call a tipping point, where it's become part of the mainstream conversation in Knoxville.
So what's actually driving all this change? Let's take a closer look at the forces of growth and the development pressure that's on the community today.
What is actually behind this shift from a quiet little pocket to a hot market? Well, it's not just one thing. It's really a combination of some powerful factors all coming together at once. Here are the key drivers. First, the housing inventory in other popular parts of West Knoxville is just incredibly tight. So builders are looking for the next opportunity. And guess what? Karns still has available land. This is leading to a lot more infill development, building on vacant plots inside existing neighborhoods. And all this is fueled by just massive demand from both locals and people moving into the area.
This comparison really shows you the change in style. We're shifting away from that slower, large lot approach to a much more efficient use of land. But, and this is a key thing to notice, it's still primarily single-family homes. That's what's helping it preserve that suburban feel, even as prices continue to climb. Of course, new development always means new people. So let's look at how the actual community, the residents of Karns, is shifting too. One of the most powerful and stable drivers for Karns has always been its schools. The fact that enrollment is actually growing tells you everything you need to know. It signals that families consistently see Karns as a desirable, stable place to put down roots, and that really anchors the entire real estate market.
And the buyer pool? It's diversifying in a big way. It's no longer just local families looking for their next house. Now you have this incredible mix of relocation buyers, remote workers, and first-time buyers all competing in the same space. And that variety is what creates some real pricing resilience.
So let's break that down a bit. You have relocation buyers who are coming from higher-cost states and see huge value here. You have remote workers who want more space and quieter streets. You've got local move-up buyers who are finding Karns to be a smart, value alternative to pricier areas like Farragut. And yep, even investors are taking note, because strong schools mean stable tenants. Okay, so what does all this growth actually look and feel like on the ground for the people who live there? Let's explore some of the tangible signs of this new reality. Unsurprisingly, the first thing everybody notices is the traffic. The main roads that connect Karns to the rest of Knoxville are definitely carrying more cars than they did 5 or 10 years ago, especially during that morning commute and around the time schools let out.
But context is everything. As this chart shows, while the traffic in Karns has definitely increased, it's still significantly lighter than what you'd experience in notoriously busy spots like Hardin Valley or Turkey Creek. So that quiet feeling is relative, but it's still there.
And despite all the growth, the core identity of the place is being preserved by these really powerful community anchors. I'm talking about things like youth sports leagues, active local churches, parks, and community events. They create this rhythm and familiarity that new development can't just erase. This is what keeps Karns feeling like Karns.
So after all that, what does this evolution actually mean for you? Well, whether you're thinking of buying or selling, this shift creates some new strategies and new opportunities.
For buyers, the playbook is pretty clear. First, understand that waiting around might just reduce your buying power. as demand continues to rise. Second, you got to align your priorities. Karns is perfect if you want space and suburban calm, not so much if you want a walkable, dense neighborhood. And third, you should recognize that buying here is a really strong, long-term positioning play in a stable, growing area. And for sellers, this is absolutely a moment of advantage. You now have a much wider audience to appeal to, including all those out-of-state buyers who see great value. The key is to market the lifestyle, not just the property itself. Tell the story about the great schools, the community feel, the balance of quiet and access. That story is your biggest competitive edge right now. Ultimately, what we're witnessing here isn't the loss of an identity, but its maturation. Karns is evolving from being a hidden gem into a community that people are now intentionally seeking out because they know about its stability and its quality of life. And this quote just perfectly sums up the whole situation. Growth doesn't have to be the enemy of what makes a place special. When it's managed well, like it is in Karns with its focus on single-family homes and those community anchors, it actually builds a stronger foundation for the future. So we end with this. Karns is evolving. That quiet pocket still exists, it's just not a secret anymore. The community is clearly on the move. The only question left is, are you going to move with it?